Star Wars dropped the official trailer for the Acolyte on May the 4th, Star Wars Day, building up for the first ever live action project set within the High Republic era, and now it's time to break it all down. I have to say, this trailer tops the first one we had a little while ago. It gives the show a far greater sense of direction, and we get a cool little reveal at the end. It's time to ignite those lightsabers and brace yourselves as we dive into the Acolyte like never before. Of course, if you enjoyed today's video, it'd be great if you could leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you want to catch more. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump right into the trailer.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
Jedi are being hunted.
She was my student. I trained her. Let me be the one to bring her in.
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan.
The trailer begins with Tassiloa's haunting declaration. Last night, a Jedi was murdered. The lush backdrop hints at Kashyyyk, home of the Wookiee Jedi Master Kel Naka, who can be seen in both trailers. A chilling scene unfolds, revealing the grim aftermath of what is likely a Jedi's demise. It seems to be Maze, Amandla Stenberg's character's silhouette we see departing from a falling lightsaber. The perpetrator, though not brandishing a lightsaber themselves, exhibits their force sensitivity by retrieving their knife from the floorboard via force pull. The lightsaber we see falling here appears to be Master Indara's, which was previously showcased in the first Acolyte poster and alongside their action figure. Their confrontation with May, teased in the Phantom Menace's re-release, this fight was essentially the scene we saw at the end of the movie. It was a cinematic delight, and I believe it's also been uploaded online if you're curious to go check it out. What I will say though is this dimly lit room adorned with a lightsaber on the floor seems to mirror the cantina where their duel erupted. As the Acolyte unfolds at the twilight of the High Republic era, even the most ardent fans will find themselves strangers to many of these characters. However, Indara's younger self graces the pages of the later High Republic novels, making her demise at the series' onset a bold and intriguing choice that escalates the stakes for all the new characters we encounter. Indara's later appearances in the trailer could well be echoes of the past via flashbacks, with the end of her story taking place in the beginning of ours. Both trailers emphasize a sinister trend, the systemic elimination of Jedi, hinting at a pivotal revelation that could unveil the assassin's motives. The established Sith of this era are known for their meticulous schemes, although I don't think they themselves would want the kind of heat murdering Jedi would bring them. A majestic view of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant captivates us. You'll notice it stands higher above the city than in the prequel trilogy, which takes place around 100 years after the Acolyte. This architectural evolution signifies Coruscant's vertical expansion due to spatial constraints. This finer detail resonates thematically, as the Acolyte portends to the Jedi's impending downfall, which culminates in the movies. Seeing the temple so far above the city line now symbolizes the Order's growing political connection, but by the time of the prequels, the Order, like their temple, is being engulfed by the surroundings. Now, inside the temple, we revisit the training room previously glimpsed in the first trailer, where Master Sol, Li Jiangjae's character, mentors the Padawans, one of which is a younger Jackie Long. Now, she does look older in the other shots of this trailer, so it's likely that this moment here is actually a flashback, and I think this trailer is full of flashbacks. We hear the voice of a new character called Quimir, saying that the Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace, but that peace is a lie. So he doesn't sound like a fan. As this show's supposed to focus on the characters opposing the Jedi, this is likely an opinion shared by many of them, including the hidden Sith of this time period too. It's worth noting here that peace is a lie is actually part of the Sith code. Now, this could be setting up a reveal later in the show that Quimir is actually a far darker character than we initially thought, Or it could just be showing us that it wasn't just the Sith that held this belief, that it was actually shared far wider across the galaxy. Now we catch a fleeting glimpse of May and Quimir together, which certainly implies a shared history, possibly hinting at Quimir's role as an ally in May's clandestine endeavours, and we'll get into why I think that a little later on. Now we see May assault a seemingly oblivious Jedi who's perhaps a victim of Force freeze or in a deeply meditative state, and it raises questions about her methods. Her choice of knives over a lightsaber, despite her Jedi training, suggests a deliberate avoidance of the traditional Jedi weapon, perhaps to conceal her identity or intentions. Now this itself could also be a telling sign that May's not the big bad of this show. The discovery of a damaged lightsaber half buried in crimson soil marks a game-changing moment. The exposed green kyber crystal, which looks to be damage caused by another lightsaber, points to a separate assailant targeting the Jedi. This contrasts with the earlier scene where a Jedi falls to a blade, indicating a more complex web of adversaries. Now, we come to what is potentially the most revealing part of the whole trailer. We see the coven of witches in their blue and gold robes. These aren't the same as the witches of Dathomir, however we do see a Zabrak there too. Now I've pulled this shot up side by side against others in the trailer showing the witches. Just to the left off screen there is Mother Anastasia. Now this is a flashback scene as well, as the very next shot is showing us a young Master Soul bringing a young May into the Jedi Order, but in a blink and you miss it moment we also see another child watching on from behind the crowd. Now this I believe is our first shot of May's sister. Now rumours go on to say that May was actually a twin and that only one of them was taken by the Jedi. But with the reveal that May actually has, or at least had, a sister, it opens up a world of possibilities as to what's going on in the show. For one, it could actually be May's sister committing the murders, with May being blamed for it. And come to think of it, one of the first synopsis released for the show said a former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes. Now we also hear Soul saying that she was his student, likely alluding to May, which means we could see the pair team up to investigate the crimes May's sister's committing, or perhaps something happened to May's sister which has led May to actually be the one killing the Jedi. However, with a possible second killer at play, May and Soul have to work together, but for different reasons. Perhaps May secretly wants to join up with this other entity while Soul wants to destroy it. They're just a few examples of the possible directions the show could take us in, but it's very hard to say early on as this is the type of show that's designed to make us think. Now the trailer teases us with dynamic interactions between May and her former mentor Master Soul, showcasing their complex relationship, whilst we also see some pretty cool new ship designs. The intriguing detachment feature of what is presumed to be a Jedi vessel hints at a modular design, possibly housing a hyperdrive in its separable section. The eerie scene of a Jedi Padawan's apparent possession amidst witches and Jedi hints at an unforeseen dark intervention. The Padawan's obscured role in the frame suggests this event was neither orchestrated nor anticipated by either faction, potentially implicating a dark side character determined to silence knowledge they wish to suppress.
Some sort of shift to tip the scales.
It's time to face the past.
Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. If you want to pull the thread and change everything, then pull it.
What are you?
We get a thrilling pursuit through an asteroid belt or planetary ring, which adds layers of intensity. It seems as though it's May's ship being chased. We go on to see it again in the trailer during her clandestine meeting with the mysterious figure on the island. The speculation around the island's identity is rife, with some fans drawing parallels to Arc 2, the secluded refuge of Luke Skywalker in the sequels. While the rock formations do differ, the possibility of it being the same location can't be dismissed, as the landscape could have simply transformed over time in universe, or even been altered in the show's post-production to differ from that of Skellig Michaels, the real-world location of Arc 2. Now as for the mysterious figure off in the distance, your guess is as good as mine. It could be the big bad of the show, perhaps a Sith Lord we're already familiar with, such as Darth Tenebrous, May's sister, or simply someone May's meeting for some kind of intel. May's interaction with Master Soul, where she's seen conversing rather than combating, indicates a pivotal moment in the narrative. Her necklace, she doesn't have it earlier on in the trailer, is filled with a green substance reminiscent of what we saw in Quimia's shop. Now this could be a crucial plot device, potentially a poison or a potion aiding her mission. Now we see a shot of an explosion in some kind of structure. We also see in this trailer a shot of what looks to be a young Soul and May walking inside that same structure as well. We cut to a scene of a child running through a forest that's burning behind her, and then we also see a group of Jedi walking in some mountains with a forest below that's smouldering. So whatever has taken place here, the Jedi were present for, or they arrived there shortly afterwards. I personally think this is also a flashback scene as well. Now we get some action-packed scenes in the cantina whilst May's confrontation with Jeki Lon, and Mother Nasea's counsel to what looks to be a younger May promises intense character development and thrilling combat choreography. The climactic scene from the first trailer is expanded upon in this one too, with Jedi igniting their lightsabers in anticipation of an attack, only to be ambushed by a red blade. The aftermath reveals Master Soul scrambling to his feet, in what is likely just after the big force push we see in the first trailer. And it's here we get our first look at the villain responsible for it. Now before we go any further, I will say this is a pretty cool mask. It evokes a sense of dread that is distinct from the more subdued menace of iconic masks such as Vader's or Kylo Ren's. It's a clever visual cue that plays on the unknown, much like the original reaction to Vader's mask. The ambiguity surrounding a character's identity, be it a Sith Acolyte, or another dark side entity altogether, adds a layer of intrigue and could still align with the lore established in The Phantom Menace. The Jedi's complacency and potential denial of the Sith's existence could serve as a compelling narrative thread, reflecting their hubris and the Order's deep-seated issues. The portrayal of the Jedi's hubris in the Acolyte looks to be a central theme, reflecting their moral complexities and the institutional shortcomings within the Order. The fact that the Jedi Temple is erected over a concealed Sith shrine serves as a powerful metaphor for the darkness lurking beneath the surface of the seemingly virtuous Order. Without doubt, the Acolyte is the biggest departure from the Star Wars we already know in live action today, but a whole new set of characters and events most fans aren't familiar with. I have to ask, are you looking forward to the Acolyte? And is there anything in this trailer that you think could have a big influence on the show? As always, drop your thoughts, theories and wilder speculations in the comments below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to catch more. See you in the next one. May the Force be with you always.